another week down, and an interesting mixed bag of fragrances yet again, from niche to indie clones to some cheap designers to a little bit of everything. It's week number 55. Stay tuned. So starting off on Sunday is a recent acquisition from one of my favorite wet shaving artisans, Strike Gold Shave. This is called Nostalgia. So with Nostalgia, what this is his rendition, Strike Gold Shave's rendition of Goldfield and Banks Pacific Rock Moss. Now, I had never tried Pacific Rock Moss, so I was just judging this based on an individual fragrance essentially, and I gotta say, it was quite surprising for me. My first impressions was very well because I loved the green aspects of this, some oak moss and stuff like that that's in here. It's very fresh and green, and I really like that. It didn't have too much of a watery aquatic feel, but it did have a little bit up top. But that fresh green aspect of this really drew me in. This actually sold out on the website. If you join Strike Gold Shave's mailing list, there is a restock coming next month, as far as I know. At least that's what Frank had told me. It was going to be about a month he'd be restocking. Join the mailing list for updates from Strike Gold Shave, which I'll have linked below. But this stuff blew me away. I was so happy to get this, and obviously it was what I wore on Sunday. And then when I got out the shower, it was just a shave products type of day, I guess, because it was time to shave, and I went with Katie's Bubbles, a Midnight Dreary shave soap and aftershave splash. So those of you in the wet shaving community, you know all about this. Very dark scent, very good for this cold weather. Has a mintiness to it as well to really cool your skin after a good shave, because obviously I shave my head as well. So I need to use quality products on my skin, because when I use cheaper stuff or not as well made stuff, I break out behind my head, by my neck and stuff like that, and I got to stick with top quality products, which the Strike Gold Shave stuff that I have is the one I use the most, is the collaboration he did with Happy Land Studios for the barbershop scent. Fantastic stuff. And then a Midnight Dreary from Katie's Bubbles. I haven't tried anything else from the house, but or from the artisan, but Katie's Bubbles has left a really good impression on me as well. And out the shower that night, had a good shave and used their after splash. Moving into Monday, this is officially my favorite tobacco fragrance now. It does give off a similar vibe to Mancera Red Tobacco. I understand where people are coming from with that. But this is much cleaner, much fresher, and a bit fruitier. It doesn't have the oud, it doesn't have the incense, but it still has similar performance. And the quality is just dialed up even more with Argos, Triumph of Bacchus. This is my favorite tobacco fragrance now. I love this one. My God, is this good. I get a lot of the peach up top, obviously with that Rum Absolute and the tobacco. It does start to transition and change in that heart, but not drastically. And then once you get into that dry down, I actually did a full review. If you want my full thoughts on it, I'll put that video right here if you haven't checked that out already. Gorgeous. Not cheap, but you're getting what you pay for, obviously, with the presentation on into the scent quality and the performance itself. They just released some 30 milliliter bottles, which there's always an Argos link with a 10% off discount code if you want to check out some samples. 30 ml releases or the full-size bottles. There's always an option for you guys, but I'm telling you, this is some really good stuff. And then when I got out the shower that night, I don't know why I was in the mood for it, but Cambridge Night from English Laundry. And I made sure to grab my loose bottle from Marshall's, because this one does not perform as well as my box presentation does. The bottle's a little bit different and everything. This is maybe 4 hours if I'm lucky, whereas that one I get 8 to 10. So when I'm in the mood for this fragrance, when I'm fresh out the shower, I go with the one that I know performs weaker. For $13, it's still a really good scent, even if this is the only one you can come across. If you come across it and you don't have it, it's a loose bottle. Spray it, try it. The scent's great on this one. It's kind of a more matured version of Invictus, if you will. It's not as sweet. It's got a little black currant in it to kind of add a maturity to it. But my favorite from the House of English Laundry, and that's what I wore out the shower that night, was Cambridge Night. Moving into Tuesday, what is, in my opinion, the best new release from Authenticity Perfumes. They did release 3 new fragrances and 1 reformulation of their popular summer vibes. This is Silver Luxe. I just did a first impressions video on Authenticity Perfumes. I'll put this right here if you haven't checked it out, to give you my thoughts initially on the new releases. And I gotta tell you, this is the cream of the crop for that litter of new fragrances. This is beautiful. It's got a little bit of a boozy touch to it. It's sweet. It's perfect for the cold right now. Definitely one that I urge you to try. I believe this is going to make my cheapie list for winter, because I'm thinking this is the way to go here. For this time of year, this is definitely a must-try at the very least from Authenticity Perfumes. You can get sample packs. This is another one where I always have a link with a discount code in the descriptions. I urge you try some of their stuff. You don't have to commit to a bottle, but the bottles are cheap. It's like $35-40 for a 60 ml. They definitely bona fide cheapies. They fall into what I consider a cheapie, which is $40 and below. But get a sample pack. You're not going to commit more than like $12 or something like that, or $15. You'll get a variety from them of decants. You can check out your favorites and get bottles from there. But another one I got to kiss. This is some really good stuff. Great release, Silver Luxe. And then when I got the shower that night, on an English Laundry kick apparently, went with London. This is the Eau de Toilette of London. Another one that performs poorly, but smells like just a fruitier version of Aventus. Instead of black currant, there's a blackberry note in this one, and this is like a 3-hour fragrance for me at best. The EDP, I get about 5 hours, which is still nothing special, but for what you pay for them, they're really good. And this isn't because of some reformulation. From the start, this one performed terribly. It just smells great. It smells really, really, really good. This is one of the best smelling English Laundry fragrances, especially if you like Aventus. It's not so much smoky as it is fruity, like I said, because they changed out a blackberry note from the black currant that was in Aventus's DNA. They kind of twisted a little bit to kind of make it their own rendition of it, if you will. It smells great out the shower. This is, when I want to smell Aventus out the shower, this is my go-to. And that's English Laundry, London. Moving into Wednesday, I got to tell you, the more I dive into this house, the more I'm blown away by the quality of these fragrances. I still need to do a full review on this. I did do a first impressions video already, but this is from Spirit of Kings. This is Zaharoff, which is a niche version of Tom Ford's Oud Wood. And I got to tell you, it is spot on. It is super high quality, because everything with Spirit of Kings, kind of the mantra behind this house is they take extremely popular fragrances and use high quality niche level oils and make their version of it. Like with Matar, which I had already, is just a smoky batch of Aventus, and it's not just an Aventus clone, it's a niche Aventus clone, where this is a niche Tom Ford Oud Wood clone. For being a clone, it's an expensive clone because they're over $100 a bottle, but man, are they good. Good Lord, this is so, so good. And it's spot on. It lasts. That's the beauty of it. I was getting about 7 to 8 hours with this one, which those of you that know newer bottles of Oud Wood doesn't perform that well. This does perform a little bit better. Projections very well. I actually did get 2 compliments. We had family in town, kind of did an early Christmas kind of thing. I'm getting some hugs. I got a few compliments while I was at it. Really, really good stuff. If you haven't checked out Spirit of Kings yet, you really should, because so far I've had 2 of their fragrances and they're both incredible. And this one is called Zaharoff. And then when I got out the shower that night, I was just in the mood for something fresh. Acqua Senziale, the original from Salvatore Ferragamo. Haven't worn it in a while. Really a fresh summer scent. Kind of Bleu de Chanel without the incense, if you will, is kind of what it smells like. And I actually prefer it to Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette. Blasphemy. I understand. I get it, because there's diehard fans of that fragrance. I actually don't like the Eau de Toilette of Bleu de Chanel. I prefer this. It's just something about it. It just doesn't agree with my skin. I don't like the way it smells coming off of my skin. The Eau de Parfum I have no issues with, and those of you that have been watching for a while, you know I love the Parfum. That's my favorite. That's the one I bought a full bottle of. But when it comes to wanting to smell like Bleu de Chanel, I prefer Acqua Senziale over Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette, because whatever, I'm assuming it's the incense, which I love incense, but whatever's in there that smells weird off of my skin is not in there in this. And out the shower that night, Acqua Senziale, Salvatore Ferragamo. Moving into Thursday, I was very excited to start wearing this one. I just did a decant video for SenseAngel.com, which I'll put right here if you haven't checked out yet. And I grabbed a lot of the new releases, namely Pegasus Exclusive from Parfums de Marly. So they do offer a lot of the newest releases. I grabbed Parfums de Marly Greenly as well. I got Amouage Interlude Black Iris. I got Angel Shares from Killian. I got a lot of really good stuff that I will be doing more reviews on very soon. And then I will be doing a review first on Pegasus Exclusive. And I got to tell you, this stuff is incredible. Redundant if you have the original, though. I don't find it's different enough to warrant having both. There's not enough differences, even though this has the added oud and it's a little bit darker. Don't get me wrong, I think this one's better than the original. And the original's great. If you get one, I would think the Exclusive is the way to go, but the prices are really high right now, so definitely go this route. Get yourself a decant. They do have multiple sizes, whereas this is a 9 ml of a different fragrance, but they got from 1 ml samples to 2 ml, 5 ml up to 9 ml. This is some 2 ml samples, and I got to tell you, Pegasus Exclusive, first impressions on this one, first wearing, this is a damn good fragrance, but super redundant if you have the original. And then when I got out the shower that night, I went on a Marshall's hunt that same day, actually a TJ Maxx hunt, and came across Lamani Victoire Intense. This is essentially Invictus Aqua, the original. It's got that sharp ambergris. Reminds me a little bit of First Instinct together because of the sharpness of it, but definitely doesn't perform as well. I actually bought this with the intention of this being an out-the-shower fragrance for me because a lot of my fragrances that smell like Invictus Aqua tend to perform pretty well, whether it be with heavy projection or being longer lasting than I like out the shower. This is more of a 3 to 4 hour fragrance. Projection's not real heavy. It's just kind of a refresher type of scent. $13 at TJ Maxx. They had a bunch of them loose, unboxed. I was able to spray it before I bought it. I definitely wanted it. Glad to have it. Yeah, it's redundant because I have a lot of Invictus Aqua type fragrances, but I had a specific purpose in mind for this one, and for $13, it's serving that purpose, being my out the shower fragrance. And that night, that's exactly what it was. Now moving into Friday, it was time to bust out my other fragrance that I got from Strike Gold Shave. And the way I would categorize this one, it's his rendition, it's Strike Gold Shave's rendition of Parfums de Marly Layton, but I find it's a little fresher up top. And of course I'm talking about Uncle Jumbo, because the reason it looks this way, the whole theme behind Strike Gold Shave is shave like a president. They have a lot of president-themed scents. I want to say Nixon's one of them. They got John F. Kennedy, different Honest Abe. They got Abe Lincoln. And they're all based off of popular scents, and they make wet shaving products based off of it. And with the fragrance, there's no mistaking that it's Layton. And it's a beast mode version of Layton. It definitely performs better than my bottle of Parfums de Marly Layton. Not as high a quality, obviously. None of these Layton clones I have the Parfums de Marly quality. But they have the scent down pat, and they perform very, very well. And this is nothing short of that. This one rivals Royal Equestrian from Alexandria Fragrances, in my opinion. I will possibly do a comparison between the two at some point, because I want to give this some more wearing, because I've worn that one several times, and that was my favorite, and could potentially still be my favorite Layton clone. I got to give this a little bit more wear, but it's definitely better than some of the others that I have from other clone houses. So kudos to Strike Gold Shave, because I think Uncle Jumbo is a damn good Layton clone, and it's a little different in the opening to where it adds more freshness than warmth up top, but it inevitably turns into the warm spiciness and sweetness of Layton. So Uncle Jumbo, if you're looking at some good wet shaving products that smell like Layton, check out Strike Gold Shave. Then when I got the shower that night, Old Faithful, Nautica Classic. Nothing here to say that I haven't said before, and I did wear it on Saturday night as well, so Friday and Saturday, so I won't show it again for the next day. But out the shower that night was Nautica Classic, and on Saturday. And then finally on Saturday, this is one I've kind of been itching to bust out, but it's kind of been on the back burner, I guess, for some reason or another, because I'm always testing something. I'm always getting something in and wanting to spray it and wanting to talk about it on the channel with you guys, that some of my favorites get lost by the wayside. And of course, I'm talking about Prada L'Homme Intense, because this is one of my favorite winter fragrances. I think it's a must-have, especially if you're an iris lover like myself. This is a must-have iris fragrance for the colder weather because, don't get me wrong, Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum are incredible. They're amazing fragrances. Dior Homme Parfum is my favorite winter fragrance, and that's another one getting lost by the wayside that I've yet to wear this winter. But this one is so wearable for being an iris fragrance because of the way the leather comes off and the patchouli, and the iris isn't too overpowering. It's not super powdery. It's just such a good fragrance. It really is. I actually have 2 bottles of this. I have another bottle, so I'll never run out, because for the amount of fragrances I have, I'll probably pass on to the next life long before I run out of sprays of Prada L'Homme Intense, because it's definitely one of my favorite fragrances from one of my favorite lines and DNAs. So if you haven't tried anything from the Prada L'Homme line, in my opinion, you're missing out. And then now's as good a time as any, with it being the cold weather, to try what, in my opinion, is one of the best cold weather designer fragrances on the market, Prada L'Homme Intense. But that was week number 55, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. What did you wear this week? Anything similar? Similar styles and profiles? Little Ric Flair rhyme for you. Unintentional, just kind of happened. Let me know down in the comments. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these, give them a spray now. You might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.